Immerse yourself in your favorite books by visiting the real-life places they're based on.
Read and Run Chicago invites you to run alongside local authors on a route inspired by their books. Allison and Anne join us with more. Thanks for being here.
Hi, thank you.
Yeah. I love this idea so much. I'm not a runner. I would need to be on the bicycle next to you, but gosh, this is so cool. So we're talking about Chicago authors, and you get to go into the places and see the places that they're writing about in their books. How did you come up with this idea, Allison?
This was when I had just moved to Chicago and I was looking for a way to combine things that I loved and explore the city and get outside, see new neighborhoods, and meet a lot of other people who felt the same way that I did.
Okay, so now how do these events work?
So we always pick a book and then we invite people to come to a location. We then map out a route going to different locations from the book, and then we tell a story about the book inspired by those locations. So like, what are these locations from the story, whether it's fiction or nonfiction? It's a way for you to connect with both the literature and the city and meet other people who are enjoying the same thing as you are.
And we're going to talk about Anne's book in a second, but what are some of the hot books that people have done here in Chicago?
So many. Becoming, Michelle Obama's memoir, is a fangirl favorite, a fan person favorite. We go to all these places in Hyde Park, like the Kissing Rock where Michelle and Barack met. It's very fun. So, and other than that, we do a lot of trail runs as well. We've done Erica Sanchez's I'm Not Your Perfect Mexican Daughter, where she grew up in Cicero.
Oh, wow.
And Anne, this is where you come in, because one of your books was chosen for one of these runs. You're a nonfiction writer. You love the narrative form. Can you tell us a little bit about your book?
Absolutely. So my book is called Street Fight, The Chicago Taxi Wars of the 1920s. And it's narrative nonfiction about a sort of little-known piece of Chicago history in the 1920s, which is that the cab industry was brand new at the time. It was a very big thing that was evolving and becoming an important part of city life. And during that time, the cab drivers were actually fighting on the streets over the dominance of who was going to get the cab fares and who was going to be in charge of the cab company and who was going to kind of come out on top in this early days of the cab industry.
And this is something that kind of is close to your family as well, right?
Yes. So my great-grandfather was actually the president of the Yellow Cab Company in Chicago in the 1920s. He started out as a cab driver. He works his way all the way up to president. He's president for about 2 years, and then he dies under kind of mysterious circumstances at the height of the taxi wars. So it was always sort of rumored in my family that maybe his death was not an accident and maybe it had something to do with these taxi wars.
Wow.
But we will never know for sure.
Yeah.
So.
So you're really learning about history too on some of these runs. I mean, gosh, what kind of spots are we stopping at here?
Yeah, for your book.
Right.
Yeah, so for my book, we're actually going to be stopping at this, well, we're starting at the Chicago Athletic Association Hotel, which we're very excited about because that is actually an important site in my book. It's where John Hertz, who founded the Yellow Cab Company, first met his partner Walden Shaw, and they decided to form the cab company. So we're starting there. We'll be going, we'll see the site of the old Hotel LaSalle, which was another important player in the taxi wars in the 1920s. We'll see the site of the Great Northern Hotel, which is a site where there was an assassination attempt on the president of the Checker Taxi Company by rivals in the same company. It was very dramatic. And then we're going to go all the way down to 21st in Michigan, and we're going to see the, it's still standing actually, the original Yellow Cab headquarters is still standing down there.
And I'm guessing from location to location, you kind of just stop and take in the sights a little bit?
Yeah, we don't talk and run. We don't like to do that.
I was like, because I don't know. At first I was concerned we had to read and run, but at the same time, but thank goodness, we don't even have to talk and run.
Right, yeah, we stop along the way, we take pictures, we look at the sites, and this is really beautiful too because a lot of these places don't exist anymore, but they were really important places in Chicago history, so we're kind of memorializing that this once did exist as well.
And how cool for the runners too that they've got the author, Anne, who's going to be meeting at every location too to kind of talk about and teach why that was so important to the book. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. Now, for how long do we stop? How long will you be talking about each of the locations?
Short and sweet. It is January in Chicago, so you know, 2 to 3 minutes per stop. I will give a little overview of why we're stopping, what what the site is, and what the importance is to the book, and then they'll continue on the route. And then at the end, we'll do an indoor Q&A back at the Chicago Athletic Association.
Perfect. And what's upcoming? Some big ones you've got coming up?
Yep. After this, we have Michelle Obama's Becoming. Then we have a historic Little Italy bakery bakery tour at the end of February.
okay.
Then we have a running tour about Japanese American history in Old Town, based on a young adult novel called Clark and Division.
Okay, so bakery tour. That means I can stop and have pastries
Yes.
as I'm running.
Yeah.
It's like found the one I want to
Perfect.
join.
That's the one I'm signing up for. Okay, Allison and Ann, thank you so much for being with us. The running tour of the Chicago Taxi Wars of the 1920s is this Saturday. For tickets and more information, just head to readandrunchicago.com or find them on social media.